Get ready, my friends. Our first speaker is absolutely incredible. Miss Sonjia Serda. Get ready to rethink conflict and harness its power like never before. Our first speaker is a dynamic counselor of mental well-being, ICF coach, mediator, and speaker who's here to turn everything you thought you knew about conflict upside down. With her expertise in conflict management, she transforms tension into opportunity, helping individuals and teams unlock creativity, collaboration, and progress. Through one on one coaching, team workshops, and powerful presentations, she equips people with the tools to navigate conflict with confidence, whether it's in the workplace, relationships, or personal growth. Drawing on proven frameworks like Dr. John Gottman's 7 principles for making marriage work, her approach is practical, transformative, and rooted in fostering healthy communication. Today, you'll hear 3 game-changing steps to make conflict work for you, not against you. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the conflict catalyst herself, Miss Sonjia Serda.
Conflict makes most people uncomfortable, mostly because it usually involves emotions. Get ready to answer a question in the chat with a thumbs up for yes or a thumbs down for no. Does conflict make you uncomfortable?
Please enter your password. You have no messages. To record a message, press 2. To manage.
Thank you for your responses. They're still coming in. Thank you. What do we do with conflict? Well, the common answer is we resolve it. Conflict plus resolution is the definition of conflict management. We tend to associate conflict with drama, raised voices, tension, or worse. But when handled well, it can be one of the most valuable resources an organization or any relationship can have. Why? Because conflict is a healthy ingredient to transform relationships. What if I told you that conflict can actually work for you? Has there been a time in your life when you struggled with conflict and there didn't seem to be any resolution, so you hunkered down, put on your growly face, and said, "No mas, I'm out of here"? In the chat, use a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. Lots of ones. Conflict is inevitable and becomes a problem if the right solution isn't applied. When people are in conflict, it often means that they care deeply enough about something to show up, to speak up, and to work it out. Whether it's a disagreement between coworkers, bosses, or family, conflict brings people to the table, and that's a powerful starting point. Let's narrow it down to workplace conflict. What's the real cost of mishandled conflict in organizations? Well, there's absenteeism, low morale, high turnover, and fewer people moving into leadership roles because conflict isn't being addressed at the ground level. When employees don't feel equipped to handle conflict, they disengage or they start looking for the exit sign to leave. An organization is left with a shrinking leadership, struggling to retain staff. When I was brought in to mediate conflict within the HR department of one of the largest healthcare organizations in the United States, I found employees who felt overlooked, undervalued, and stuck. Now, most of them, they were passionate about their work, but the department was in a downward spiral. Gossip, low morale, and mistrust, the components of conflict. They were spreading fast. impacting both performance and personal well-being. Everyone in the department, from front lines to executive suite, felt very similar and didn't know where or how to start. There was an abundance of practical ideas, great solutions, but it was as if conflict had them trapped in a genie bottle. Have you ever found yourself in a similar place? You didn't want to go to work because you felt depressed about the job and physically sick? Maybe you could hardly drag yourself out of bed. You didn't see any change coming and thought, maybe it's time to leave. I've been there. And when I got my chance, I said, no mas, I'm out of here. I saw no resolution in sight. So for this HR conflict, I needed to help them see it as a stepping stone and be okay with their emotions and mine and not try to stifle the conflict. Eventually, difficult discussions and encouraging connections developed in the HR department. Psychological safety and trust and renewed energy became the new norm. Performance and personal wellness improved. And guess what? The dark cloud had lifted. Everyone expresses conflict differently. Some shut down, others speak up, some stay calm, others raise their voices. Is it okay to raise your voice and use profanity in the workplace? High quality conflict management says it is okay to raise voices and use some profanity, especially in professional environments that value authenticity and inclusion. It means people are engaged, they're present, and they're emotionally invested. When space is allowed for emotions and honor them with understanding, then the real work can begin. The same energy that fuels emotional outbursts can also fuel innovation and deep collaboration. So yes, emotions show up, especially anger. Now that can be uncomfortable, but it's also honest. Anger means someone feels unheard, misunderstood, or powerless. When we dismiss that, we dismiss the opportunity for understanding and resolution. When emotions are acknowledged and respected, conflict becomes transformational. It means people understand each other's emotional starting points. When people feel seen and heard, they are far more likely to participate in being the solution and maybe even start liking their jobs again. I don't want emotional expression confused with emotional instability because anger, frustration, even tears, these are all valid. Emotion is not the problem. Suppressed emotion is. When people aren't allowed to show a degree of emotion because they feel labeled for being too emotional, they often carry that stigma into meetings. And guess what doesn't show up in those meetings? Problem solving and team cohesion. You can move forward when you're acknowledged because that's real. Emotion is real. Once the storm settles and the voice is calm, we often find that everyone wants the same thing: respect and resolution. That is the gift of conflict. It exposes what people care about. Too often, mismanaged conflict, it creates divide. It breeds a culture of hostility and blame. There's a push for quick fixes, silence strong feelings, or write off emotional people as unprofessional or difficult. When that's done, there's the risk of losing something vital: passion. Conflict, when handled correctly, reveals commitment, great ideas, and creates strong partnerships. A heated discussion, when managed with maturity, can lead to breakthroughs that polite silence never could. Just imagine if we stopped avoiding conflict and started training people to engage with it wisely. Imagine teams where people don't walk on eggshells, but instead know how to lean into hard conversations with trust and empathy. Imagine leaders who don't fear conflict, but invite it, not for chaos, but for resolution. When handled correctly, the right way, the opposite occurs. Now there's a spirit of cooperation that unites teams and cultivates positivity. And this is where conflict becomes your superpower, not your setback. So, are you ready to boost morale, increase retention, and get better performance? Then here are 3 steps to show you how to make conflict work for you. This is what I did for the HR department. Step 1, start seeing conflict as a catalyst. Step 2, embrace emotion that often accompanies conflict. Step 3, normalize it. Don't diminish it. Three words that can foster positively in a matter of seconds are this: I hear you. I care. Tell me more. That moment of acknowledgement, of validation, is often all it takes to shift the energy in a person, in a room. It lowers defenses and opens doors. It moves from conflict to connection, from stress to success. To reiterate, conflict is not the problem. Suppressed conflict is. So the next time conflict shows up, and you can bet your boots it will, don't run from it. Don't try to fix it too fast. Leverage it. Something great is about to happen.